You think Ozempic burns fat? Take the shot, eat less, watch the fat disappear. That's the story most people hear. Except it doesn't act on your fat cells directly. It starts with a signal, and that signal's target is your brain. Let's follow it and see where it goes. Appetite is not just a stomach feeling, it is a signal fight in your brain. One side is the hunger alarm. It does not whisper, maybe lunch? It announces food like the building is on fire. Across from it is the fullness signal, calm, trying to say, you are full, you are fine. Please stop opening the fridge like it refreshed. But the hunger alarm has the megaphone, and it did not come here to share. These two need a referee. After you eat, your gut releases a hormone called GLP-1. Its job, walk in, tell the brain food arrived, turn the emergency volume down, a referee for the brain's hunger and fullness signals. But GLP-1 has the biological lifespan of a soap bubble. Waiting in the blood is DPP-4. It does a lot of jobs in the body, but right here, just one. Clip GLP-1. DPP-4 isn't evil. It has no villain arc. GLP-1 isn't destroyed, just biologically ghosted. That's not an accident. It's likely part of the design, evolution's way of not letting a fullness signal linger past a meal that's already over. But for someone with diabetes or obesity, that brief pulse often isn't enough. Semaglutide is GLP-1's reinforced cousin, the molecule inside Ozempic and Wegovy. Ozempic's the diabetes version, lower dose. Wegovy pushes the same signal higher, approved on its own for weight loss. There's a pill version too now. Same molecule, a much bigger dose, since most of it never survives the trip through your stomach. Early trials show it works about as well as the shot, though it's new enough that this could still change. Semaglutide's trick is survival. It enters the bloodstream like it already read DPP-4's whole plan. DPP-4 tries the usual clip. Nothing happens, tries again. Still nothing. Semaglutide doesn't fight or run, it just keeps existing, which is extremely rude to an enzyme with one job. Then it hooks onto albumin, a huge protein already drifting through your blood, not delivering it anywhere on purpose, just too big and long-lived to get cleared out quickly, and semaglutide riding along gets that same protection. That's what stretches the signal to about a week. So the brain doesn't hear fullness once, it hears it again and again. The hunger alarm keeps trying to restart the argument. Semaglutide's still in the room. Any drug powerful enough to work is going to have side effects. That's just how medicine works. Some aren't what you'd expect a side effect to look like at all, because they're tied to something positive. Ozempic itself started as a diabetes drug, and weight loss was the unexpected side effect that became its own approved use. And some are just the drug doing exactly what GLP-1 signals do, slowing your digestion. Nausea, vomiting, the usual GI complaints that come with it. Then there's the fallout from the weight loss itself. Ozempic face, Ozempic butt. Some muscle loss too. Your body's pulling fuel out of storage, and fat cells are first in line, so the face looks a little looser, the butt looks a little flatter. Muscle can get pulled into that same fuel search, especially without protein or resistance training telling your body, not this one, I'm still using it. Another side effect people are starting to talk about more in 2026 is Ozempic vulva. Yeah, sounds like a Batman villain. It's still being studied, no actual trial evidence points to it yet, but people do report it. That's because less fat can mean less estrogen, which can affect comfort down there too. And then there's the brain signal actually changing. This is where food noise belongs. People weren't just saying I lost weight. They were saying the mental chatter changed. What should I eat next? Is there something sweet? Why did I walk into the kitchen? For some, that quieting happened before major weight loss, pointing back to the signal itself. The hunger alarm gets quieter. The fullness signal finally gets the floor. How solid is that? Mostly self-reported so far, consistent but not yet confirmed by a dedicated trial. Same goes for alcohol. Some say it feels less interesting too. Food and alcohol rewards share some brain wiring, so it's plausible, but early science not an approved addiction treatment, and definitely not wine cancellation medicine. And what happens when you stop? The signal fades. That doesn't mean you gain everything back overnight, but the referee's not standing between hunger and the megaphone anymore. For a lot of people, the hunger comes back, the weight pressure comes back. That's not a personal failure. That's biology remembering its old job. The hunger system wasn't deleted. it was being managed. Ozempic was reshaping your brain while you were taking it, but it's not a rewrite, it's a rental. So the internet wasn't wrong, it was just fooled by the fat suit. Ozempic and Wegovy make a real difference in people's lives. They lower blood sugar, and for a lot of patients, the weight loss they drive is genuinely life-saving. But they also have real side effects, real body changes, real brain effects, and real unknowns. None of that makes it less remarkable. This is the finish line an entire industry spent decades racing toward. And breakthroughs that size come with real trade-offs. Only you and your doctor can weigh whether they're worth it for you. Here's what we actually know. Your body already makes a molecule called GLP-1, whose job is to referee hunger and fullness, but it doesn't last long. That's not a flaw. It's evolutionary design, built to fade once a meal is over, from a time when every extra calorie mattered for survival. For someone who doesn't need those extra calories anymore, that same short-lived signal can work against them. Semaglutide, the molecule behind Ozempic and Wegovy, is a modification of GLP-1, engineered to last weeks instead of minutes, so that same effect keeps going. But none of that happens by burning fat directly. So when people ask, does Ozempic burn fat? The answer is not directly. It talks to the brain changes appetite, the body responds. Ozempic was a brain story wearing a fat suit.